What was the last topic? Okay. And we were talking about the kinetic energy also, no? .4 kinetic energy. Okay. Okay, listen. So yesterday we were discussing about the electron. So the energy required to eject the electron from the metal surface is called as work function. Okay. Suppose if I want to stop the electron of ejecting from the metal surface. Okay. So then also I need some kind of energy, right? Write down a point now. When electron comes out, comma, if I want to stop the electron, ejecting from the metal surface, then it is called as retarding potential. It is called as retarding potential. Or else it is called as cutoff voltage. Either it is called as retarding potential, or else cutoff voltage, or else stopping potential. So three are same only. So retarding potential, cutoff voltage, stopping potential. Okay. Write down the formula. V naught is equals to, I'll write direct formula here. V naught is equals to H by E mu minus H by E mu naught. V naught is equals to H by E mu minus H by E mu naught. So V naught is the retarding potential. So if I talk about the graph, no, it is looking like y is equals to mx plus c. Okay. So the graph between them will be looking like this. This is my graph. Take down. It's between frequency and the retarding potential. The graph between frequency and retarding potential. Okay, write on the next topic. De Broglie's theory. See, don't expect a question that like twisted question in this lesson, like dual nature of matters and radiation, atoms, nuclei, semiconductors. In this, the direct questions will be coming. Whatever the formula you have and whatever given in the question, try to relate and get the answers. So minimum of 5 to 6 questions will be there, direct questions. Okay, so don't try to skip these lessons. The next one is de Broglie's theory. Write on the formula. Lambda is equals to h by p. Lambda is equals to h by p. So where lambda is wavelength, lambda is wavelength, h is Planck's constant, and p is momentum, linear momentum. P is linear momentum. So this wavelength is nothing but de Broglie's wavelength, and write down the list of particles, of de Broglie's wavelength, the list of particles of de Broglie's wavelength are electron, proton, deuteron, not neutron, it is deuteron, alpha particle, or any fast moving particles, Write down the next formula. P is equals to under root of 2m qv. Write down. V is nothing but accelerating potential. Q is charge, and m is the mass of the particle, like mass of the given particle. Okay, mass of the particle, and p is obviously it is a linear momentum. So can I get the relation between the accelerating potential and the lambda now in this? If I substitute the value, lambda will be equals to h by root over 2m qv. So most of the questions are based on lambda is inversely proportional to root v. Okay, take down lambda is equals to h by root over 2m qv. Note points. For electron, lambda is equals to 12.27 by root v. For electron it is lambda is equals to 12.27 by root v. Second point, for proton, lambda is equals to 0.287 by root v. The next one, for alpha particles, lambda is equals to 0.101 by root v. 0.101 by root v. Fourth one is for deuteron. lambda is equals to 0.202 by root V. So everything should be in Armstrong only. For everything it should be in Armstrong. So what is the value of Armstrong? 10 power 10 power 9, 10 plus 10 minus 10 minus 10. Write down. For neutron, lambda is equals to h by root over 3m kt. Okay. So this, have you remember this formula? Kinetic energy is equals to 3 by 2 kT in kinetic theory of gases, KTG. Okay, the real gas constant. Sometimes K denotes the real gas constant. Okay, the value of K, sometimes it is real gas constant. Okay, the direct value is lambda is equals to for neutron, lambda is equals to 30.8 by root T. It is not V, it is root T. 30.8 by root T. That also in Armstrong only. 30.8 by root T Armstrong. Okay. Open new page and write the topic atoms and nuclei. Atoms and nuclei. Okay. Write on the first point. Atom is the smallest particle. Atom is the smallest particle of matter. Atom is the smallest particle of matter. Next point, the subatomic particles are proton, neutron and electron. The subatomic particles are proton, neutron and electron. In this, the next point, in this the lightest particle is electron. In this, the lightest particle is electron. So the value of electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, and it is minus, and proton is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, like one is positive and one is negative. So what about neutron? What is the charge of the neutron? 0. Okay. Okay. What is the mass of the proton? Mass 9 point You told something, no? 9.1. It will start for electron. Okay, write down the mass of the proton is equals to mass of the neutron. Mass of the proton is equals to mass of the neutron, which is equals to 1.67, which is equals to 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. 1.67 into 10 power minus 27. 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. The next one is mass of the electron. Mass of the electron, it is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Write down the next point. For neutron, there is no deflection. For neutron there is no deflection due to their mass, or else you can write heaviest particle, due to their mass or heaviest particle. Write down the next one. Atom consists of two parts. Atom consists of two parts. Write down the first one. It is nucleus. First one is nucleus. First one is nucleus. So under nucleus we have, write the point, under nucleus we have proton and neutron. Under nucleus we have proton and neutron. The next point is, this is closely and tightly packed. This is closely and tightly packed. Next point, the combination of proton and neutron, is called as nucleons. So either we can say it's a nucleus or nucleons. Okay. So whatever you have studied in chemistry, the same thing only. We know that at the center we have the positive, that is protons, no, and neutrons, and electron will be revolving in the orbits. Okay. So by seeing that, let me draw this one, like everything is a proton, okay, and some particles are neutron will keep. Due to the repulsion, the electrons are revolving in the orbit. Okay. So by this diagram, can you understand why these protons are closely packed? Protons means positively charged, no. Can I pack the two north pole or two south pole together? Then how it is possible? due to due to nuclear force due to nuclear force, the proton and proton particles, the proton and proton particles gets interacted between them, gets interacted between them, gets interacted between them. So if I talk about the positive and negative charge, if they get interact between them, what is that force is called? If a positive charge and negative charge gets interact between them, what is that force is called? Attractive force. Electrostatic force. Write down. In this, electron is attracted towards proton, electron is attracted towards proton that is positively charged. It is due to electrostatic force. It is due to electrostatic force. Attracted towards proton. Electron is attracted towards proton and it is due to electrostatic force. Okay. So what is this symbol denotes? Write down. The next point. Z denotes the atomic number, or else number of proton, or else number of protons. So you know the value of the atomic numbers, no? At least up to 20, 30. Okay, good. Write down the next one. Okay. Atom is okay. Wait. Is atom is positively charged or negatively charged? Neutral or positive or negative? Neutral. Okay. Right on. Atom is electrically neutral. Atom is electrically neutral, which means the number of electron will be equals to number of protons. Which means the number of electron will be equals to number of protons. Electrons will be equals to number of protons. So is gold call your write down gold foil experiment. Gold foil experiment. So who have done this experiment at least? Okay. Write down Rutherford experiment. Rutherford experiment is the other name. Is the other name. So if I send the alpha particle, obviously it will get scatter. It's because of the positive and positive charges. It will get repulsion, and this is my axis, no, center axis. How much ever it has been deflected, that is called as impact parameter. Okay, so from the center axis to the deflection, this is called as impact parameter. The deflection happen is called as impact parameter. Write down. From the center axis to the deflection, from the center axis to the deflection, the nearest deflection, okay, deflection is called as impact parameter. Impact parameter. So whatever the charge particle coming in the center axis, no, it will come with some velocity. So velocity of the alpha particle, after reaching certain distance, it will try to oppose me, no, like this positive charge is coming and this positive charge will oppose me, and at some point I will get the velocity of the alpha particle as 0, and then it will be reflected in the same direction. Okay, write down the next point. In the center axis, the alpha particle travels with velocity v, after certain distance the velocity will become 0, becomes 0, and listen here. So where the velocity will become 0, no, from that point to the center point is called as distance of closest approach. Okay, write down. The next point is from the point where velocity becomes 0, from the point where the velocity will become 0 to the center point, is called as distance of closest approach. Write down the next point. It's important point, okay. If impact parameter is more, then the angle of scattering will be less. If the impact parameter is more, then the angle of scattering will be less. Okay. So this alpha particle will consist of 2 electrons, okay, I mean 2 positive electrons, which means the 2 protons will say, and this center particle will have the z electrons, like it depends upon the particle whichever we are considering, okay, and this is having 2 electrons. Alpha particle is having 2 electrons, and the center particle depends upon the atom, like depends upon the particle whichever we are considering, it will be having z electrons. If I consider hydrogen, how many electrons? Like the proton I am talking, it is 1, and for helium 2, so depends upon the particles, okay. So it is going with kinetic energy, which is nothing but of mv alpha square. So kinetic energy should be equals to whatever the particle here presents here, no, it is in the potential energy, no. So the formula is in the electrostatic 1/4 pi epsilon naught and q1 q2 by r, the potential energy, okay. So here q1 is 2e and it is ze, q1 and q2, q1 and q2, okay. From this r will be equals to, write down the formula, direct formula I will tell, r will be equals to ze square by pi epsilon naught Z square by pi epsilon naught. See here, this 2 goes here, no, to the numerator, and 4 and this 2 will get cancelled off. Yes, no, and what else remaining? This Z E square will be remaining, and this is pi epsilon naught. This R will go to the other side, and remaining is 1 by m into V alpha square. This is my radius. Right on the next topic, Bohr's theory. Bohr's theory. So now we have discussed about the alpha particle. Now we will discuss about the electron. Okay. Right on the point. Electron revolves in circular orbit. Electron revolves in circular orbit. Electron revolves in circular orbit. In bracket, it's a stationary orbit. Circular orbit, and in bracket you can write it is a stationary orbit. So what is helping me to revolve in a circular orbit? Which force is helping me? Centripetal force. So if I talk about the electron is revolving like this, the centripetal force is helping me to revolve, and one more force is acting, no, the electron and the proton, electrostatic force. So can I say the electrostatic force is equals to centripetal force? Okay. And what about the centripetal force formula? mv square by r, and it is electrostatic force. There is one relation. Write on the next formula. L is equals to mvr. L is equals to m times v times r, where L is nothing but angular momentum. So the other formula is L is equals to nh by 2 pi. nh by 2 pi. So n is nothing but principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. So it can be 1, 2, 3 up to infinite. Okay. It depends upon, like n depends upon the state of the orbit. N depends upon the state of the orbit. Right on the next point. Angular momentum is always quantized. Angular momentum is always quantized. Angular momentum is always quantized. What is the meaning of quantized? Electrostatic, starting second point or third point I have given the meaning of quantized. Now turning the pages. You guys told what she's write down the formula. R is equals to from equation 1 and 2, R is equals to n square h square epsilon naught by m pi z e square, m pi z e square. So here q1 is electron and q2 is z e. q1 is e and q2 is z e. Write on the next point. The radius of the nth orbit, is equals to is equals to 0.529 into 0.529 into 10 power minus 10 meter, 10 power minus 10 meter into n square by z, into n square by z. This is the direct value. Okay. So that is 10 power minus 10, no? Can I write that in Armstrong also, no? 0.53 n square by z into Armstrong, that's it. So instead of 10 power minus 10, I am writing it as Armstrong. For example, for the first orbit, n is equals to 1 and z is equals to 1. N is equals to 1 and z is equals to 1. What is the value? 0.53 Armstrong. 0.53 Armstrong, and this is called as Bohr's radius. So I can say that R is directly proportional to n square and inversely proportional to z. Right on the next topic. If I complete by today, no, tomorrow morning we will start with semiconductors. Right on. Energy of electron in nth orbit. Energy of electron in nth orbit. I will write the formulas, please copy down this one. Kinetic energy is equals to z e square by 8 pi epsilon naught r, and u is equals to, that is potential energy is equals to, minus z e square by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So total energy, it is nothing but kinetic energy plus potential energy, which is minus z e square by 8 pi epsilon naught r, and the ratios between potential energy, kinetic energy and the total energy is equals to 2:1 1:1. Done? Completed? Okay. Write down. The total energy of the nth orbit equals to, total energy of the nth orbit is equals to minus 13.6 n square by z, n square by z, I mean it is, sorry, it's z square by n square, z square by n square, electron volt, z square by n square electron volt. Write down the next topic, electrostatic force. The relation between the force and the potential energy, is F is equals to minus du by dr. Note point, the energy of electron in first orbit, of the hydrogen, is equals to minus 13.6 electron volt, is equals to minus 13.6 electron volt. The next point, the kinetic energy of the nth orbit, is equals to plus 13.6 z square by n square, plus 13.6 z square by n square. The next point, the potential energy of the nth orbit is equals to, minus 27.2 electron volt. For kinetic energy it is plus 13.6 electron volt, and for potential energy it is minus 27.2 electron volt. Okay, I will stop up to this. Try to revise the formula now fast.